Welcome to MOOC's learning video. On this change, we will talk about education system in Indonesia. Basically, educational system in Indonesia adopted from American system. One important decision if you are moving to Indonesia with family is how to ensure that your children have the best possible educations. The public education system in Indonesia is ranked below average compared to other OECD countries. Although school standard naturally vary significantly from place to place. As an expat, you might choose to put your child into the state system or look for a suitable private or international school. International schools will teach in English or another major world language and usually follow an internationally recognized syllabus, such as the International Baccalaureate.
If you're considering your options, you can compare the standard of education in Indonesia with it available in your home country with the PISA assessment framework from the OECD. Whether you have already got your Indonesian work visa and have your move fully planned or are just starting to think about life overseas, it helps to know a little about the education option in Indonesia. Many parents choose to send their children to playgroup from the age of 2 before preschool, this is optional. Is over from age 4. Preschool, children move into high school, which is split into a junior and senior section. If you're planning on living in Jakarta or one of the other major cities, it's a good idea to choose a school close to home, as commuting times are notoriously bad. Because of poor traffic conditions, many private schools offer bus services to their students as well, and some other expat families optional for hiring a driver to deal with the commute.
Now, let's start with the preschool, or in Bahasa Indonesia, we call it as Taman Kanak-Kanak. Preschool in Indonesia isn't compulsory and usually run by private enterprises. So, if you want your child to attend, you have to enroll directly with the school you have chosen. Places are available for children aged between 4 and 5 or 6, with fees normally payable. Playgroups for younger children aged from 2 are also popular. Playgroup, which are privately run, offer places for children from 2 years old. Preschool is optional from age 4 to 6. The vast majority of preschools are privately run and fees are payable.
And now with primary school, all we call it in Bahasa is sekolah dasar. From the age of 5 or 6, it's compulsory to attend primary school in Indonesia. This stage of schooling is provided free of charge. Schools are either secular and government-run or religious establishment, or this is like typically Islamic madrasah, which are regulated by the Ministry of Religious Affairs. Religious schools are usually either private or partly private. Teaching is in Indonesian, although some smaller children will speak their local language in class when they first start school, as the first 3 years of primary can be delivered in a different tongue if it's commonly used in their area. Primary school lasts for 6 grades and the curriculum is broad, covering basic skills, physical education, and languages. English language is often taught, alongside Indonesians, of course, local language if relevant, and sometimes other major languages such as Chinese also. Religious education is normal, even in the non-sectarian schools, as education is viewed as a process of developing the morals of children, as well as their ability to take part in the society.
The next is secondary school, or in Bahasa Indonesia, we call it as Sekolah Menengah Pertama and Sekolah Menengah Atas. Secondary education in Indonesia is split into Sekolah Menengah Pertama or Junior High School and Sekolah Menengah Atas or Senior High School. Junior High is a compulsory and lasts 3 years. After that, students can choose to enter Senior High School, where they choose a study stream, such as language or social sciences. Otherwise, students might specialize in a subject area such as engineering or business. Vocational schools are also available, with more a focus on teaching practical skills. Some schools offer accelerated program for gifted students, which allow them to pass through the education system quicker than their peers. Some fees are typically charged for senior high school, as this isn't mandated by the government. In all, around half of Indonesian high schools are public and half private, including madrasah.
So, what's the typical school calendar in ours? The school year in the Indonesian state system is arranged into semesters, running from August to June, although the exact dates vary slightly according to the specific school preferences. The school day runs usually during the morning, from as early as like 6:30 a.m. through to the early afternoon. Students attend school 5 or 6 mornings a week according to a timetable which is decided by the individual school. It is worth noting that this calendar applies to state schools only. In private and international school, a different calendar might be adopted.
And then, what's the cost of education? There are fee charge of playgroup, preschool, and higher secondary education under the state system, as well as additional costs for uniforms, transport, and school materials. If you don't choose the state system and decide to find a private international school, the costs are even higher. Indonesia has many private and international schools, mainly in the major cities. International schools typically teach in English or other major world languages, and often use either the International Baccalaureate syllabus or a variant of the United States standard curriculum. Alternatively, there are some national plus schools which offer education in English, but might follow the Indonesian curriculum. And occasionally, public schools have an international class which might follow an internationally recognized syllabus. It's worth knowing that schools aren't allowed to use the word international in their title because of local legislations, although it's usually clear which school cater to the expat community from a quick glance at the website.
International schools are generally of a high standard and therefore typically competitive, with testing and interviews to secure admissions. You can expect the fees to vary widely depending on the specific school and the program they offer. Whichever route you decide is best for your family, there will be costs involved, and you don't want to pay more than you have to.
Finally, thank you very much for watching this video and see you!